Homestead Studios in Santa Clarita, California, it's Just the Tip-Sters with Melissa Morgan.
Good day.
Today with a zesty and refreshing MURDERTIZER featuring a heaping helping of chicken, garlic paste, and a follow-up on the Zankou murders. Remember, if you've got a tip for Melissa on a case you'd like to know more about, call the Tipster hotline at 832-TIPSTER. That's 832-847-7837, or send an email to jttipsters@gmail.com. You just might hear your tip on the podcast. And now, here's your host, getting in that last bite of Tarna before the on-air light goes on, Melissa Morgan.
More cowbell. Producer Mark, we need to do a sound effect drop of me licking my fingers. That's pretty much how.
The problem with the sound of licking fingers can be taken as so many different things.
You're correct, sir. Never mind. Don't do that drop. Just imagine in your mind, if you will, tipsters, that I am licking the hummus and garlic paste from my pudgy little greasy chicken-covered fingers.
Well, they are greasy and chicken-covered, but they're not pudgy. They're beautiful.
Well, thank you, darling. That's very sweet of you. So this is just a MURDERTIZER, an update on the Zankou chicken murders, which we did back in January. And I think we did it on the anniversary, actually, of Mardiros Iskenderian killing his sister, his mother, and himself. January 14th is the actual anniversary date, and I think we did it right around that time. And I was thinking that, Mardiros was known as Pasha, Pasha, which in Armenian means the prince. He was the prince of the family. Sometimes when you put someone so far up on a pedestal, they grow up, get cancer, and then shoot you in the chest and back. But I've
heard that.
Isn't it great that we just have dogs? Yes. I'm pretty sure if we had a kid, they would kill at least me in my sleep. They'd probably let you live because you're nice, but I'd be taken out. I am pretty sure about that. But I was just thinking about how you, producer Mark, are my prince. You're my Pasha.
Oh.
You're my prince. So, producer Mark and I have perhaps gone to Zankou more times than I have fingers to count. And they opened not quite a month ago. They had a soft opening on March 25th of their local Zankou outlet here in Santa Clarita and Valencia. And I had been, pretty much jumping up and down and clapping my hands for the better part of a year, waiting for the motherfucker to open. And it took a long time. Apparently the city, as I've said before, is, a little bit of a hindrance to anyone trying to open a business. But they finally opened it. And they actually opened it before they were done with everything, because they are also developing an outdoor seating patio that will be beautiful. My friend David mentioned that he saw the marble tabletops in the empty space next to the new Zankou, and those will be going outside because producer Mark was like, hey, what's all the green construction fencing? What's going to happen out here? And that now we know what it is. It's going to be an outdoor seating area, which they need, because the indoor seating, there isn't enough of it. There's a line pretty much all the time, and we have been there a lot. But this MURDERTIZER is mostly about the grand opening, the soft opening on March 25th. And between March 25th and March 31st, I had gone 3 times to Zankou.
I think we've gone 4 times since then. So
yes.
Probably 7 or 8 times now.
Yes. Yeah. And in the month it's been open, I bet we've gone at least twice a week. I have gone a few times without you, and you've been working late, and I didn't want to, offend you with my garlic paste breath. But the thing that is most shocking to me is how you are now on board. You would always eat there, like not that often, but you would do that for me kindly if I wanted to go. Mostly I did it with other friends or, people who wouldn't mind that there's garlic paste coming out of my pores. But now, sometimes I'll say, I don't feel like making dinner. And you're like, oh, I'll just go to Zankou and pick up some chicken. And I'm like, who are you?
Well, here's the thing. I always liked Zankou chicken. It was just always a pain in the neck to go get it because it was so far away.
Right.
And that's all. But I also didn't realize that they had basmati rice as a side, which I also love. I mean, I always like the chicken. The chicken is always perfect. I don't know how they do it, but I mean, the white meat is never dry. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But I always like chicken. I don't like the garlic paste. And, some of the other stuff, it's okay. But that basmati rice, I love it.
It's so crazy because I don't get it. It tastes like nothing to me. But if you like it, that's all that matters. I know it's my friend, our friend Tony. It's her favorite item on the menu. She likes the chicken too, but she's all about the basmati rice. I'm like, I don't get it.
Very lightly seasoned. It's
I don't.
good.
I think my taste buds must be dead because I don't. I'm like, it's just like white. I don't get it. But hey, if you are happy, I tried tahini. I think it is for the first time. So delicious. I tried chicken tarna, for the first time because I would just get the half chicken plate, no pickles, turnips, hummus, extra tomatoes, pita, and garlic paste. And I have no idea why I'm running down the menu because none of the tipsters need to know the menu. But anyway, so opening day happened to be the day that we were going to our tax accountant in Burbank.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, at like 4:30 or something in the afternoon. So traffic, not good. But so we stopped at a beautiful florist in Toluca Lake, got a lovely arrangement, and I wrote on a little card, "Thank you for coming to Santa Clarita." And we by the time we got there, what time do you think it was? Like 6 p.m.?
Something like that.
Yeah. So there was already a line. We waited outside.
Oh, out the door.
We should
say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out the door. And it's you probably got 30 feet from the door to the counter. So that's taken up by people. And then outside the door, out into the parking lot. So it was spilling out into the parking lot. So we were waiting in line patiently. I wasn't patient. I was kind of jumping up and down again like a crazy child just before Christmas. And a handsome young man is walking up and down the line with a laminated menu. And I'm standing there holding these flowers. And I was, he was like, "Hi, here's the menu. Would you like to?" And I was like, Are you one of the Iskenderians? And he's like, "Yes, I'm Varkis." Now, Varkis is the youngest of the four boys. And he is named after his grandfather, who actually started the restaurant in Beirut. So Mardiros's father's name is Varkis. And he named his... I always think it's funny. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but so it's Ara, Dekran, Varkis, and Steve. Why? I don't...
It's very funny.
It's kind of funny. And Steve is the oldest one. So he names his first one Steve. And then we have Dekran, Ara, and Varkis. And the mom is Rita. So I'm standing there with these flowers, and handsome Varkis is like, "Oh, I'm one of the family members." And I was like, "I know. You guys are amazing and wonderful." And I said, "These flowers are for you." And he's like, "For us?" And I said, "Well, actually for Rita." And he goes, "Rita's here. Do you know Rita?" And I was like, it's almost like I'm talking about rock stars. And I was like, "Well, no, I don't. I don't know Rita personally, but I mean, oh my God. I mean, what she's done, especially after your dad went batshit and killed people."
Of course,
I didn't say that. I did
that.
not say that. And he said, "Oh, well, come on up here." So Rita was sitting in one of the tables, and I took the flowers to her, and she looks just like she did 10 years ago in the pictures, maybe a little more tired. I bet she's tired. They have a lot going on. But she was very sweet and very gracious. And I bowed down to her and bowed down to Varkis. And he said, we bowed to you. He said there would be no reason for us to be here if it weren't for you. So they are definitely a beautiful, tight-knit family, no matter what has happened. And what I said before I met Rita was, with everything you've been through, I said this to Varkis, with everything you've been through, I'm just so happy you're here. We're all so grateful. And he stopped and he turned his head to the side. I'm going to start crying. Varkis turns his head to the side and said, "We have been through a lot, haven't we?" With a really sweet smile on his face. And I thought, yeah, you have been through a lot. And here you are opening another restaurant. And it's amazing and wonderful. And we're so grateful they're here where we live. So as producer Mark says, we don't have to drive so far because we're lazy. And it's not like around the corner, but it's close enough to where it's definitely an option if we're hungry. And it's almost always an option for me. So thinking about what they have been through after Marderos was diagnosed with terminal cancer and shot his sister through the eyeball, his mom in the chest and back, and then himself through the head, I can't actually believe they're still here. And then having the surviving members of that side of the family, Sue, Rita, and her sons, if Marderos thought he was doing a favor by killing his sister and mother and that his sons would have his legacy, he borrowed a whole bunch of trouble for his wife. So Rita really is the true definition of a matriarch, and she's there, and she's working the line, and I've seen her 2 or 3 times. I've seen Varkas quite a few times. I've actually met everyone except Steve. So I've met Deekran and Ara on opening day. They were there with their families, Rita, Varkas, and it's been a really great experience. One of the times I went back without producer Mark, Varkas is holding one of the laminated menus and going up and down the line so people know what to order. And he comes up to me and he said, do you need a menu? And I go, really? Menus are for sissies. If you don't know what you want by the time you get here, you're bullshit. And his eyes flew open really wide and he started laughing and he hugged me and he said, you're badass. I need you to be my life coach. And I thought, son, you don't need anyone to be your life coach. You've got Rita and you've got your family, and look what you guys have done. Because it really is a beautiful restaurant. I mean, I don't really care for the seating. It's not comfortable, but I think they don't want you to stay there a long time. But gorgeous counters, beautiful bathrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a pretty small, I guess it used to be male and female, and now it's everyone in, free-for-all bathroom, and, changing stations for babies, and it's really quite spectacular. So thinking about, it didn't dawn on me until we were going to do this Murdertizer. It's odd to me that Marderos would choose to shoot his sister, mother, and himself, especially since in 1979 he survived in Beirut being shot 16 times with an AK-47 by a terrorist on a motorcycle in front of the original storefront of the original Zankou in Beirut. It was amazing he didn't die right there. He survived, and then they hot-footed it to America so that people didn't get shot anymore. And then he ends up shooting his sister, his mother, and himself. Maybe he thought it was the fastest way. They wouldn't be in pain. I don't know. I think after having been shot, he's like, that's more times than 50 Cent's been shot. I think he's been shot 9 times. Yeah. Marderos, Iskenderian, seriously, old school gangster. 16 times and surviving. That's pretty big right there. So when I see what they've done, and to know that after he was gone, and Rita, who was a housewife, Rita's job was to take care of his mother and the house and the boys. She wouldn't let the family expand too quickly. Steve and Deekran wanted to bring in investors. Rita said no. They wanted to have a nationwide franchise. Rita said no. They fought and fought until Rita said, why don't you look around and see that the streets are littered with Kookaroos and Boston Markets and Kenny Rogers Roasters that don't have restaurants in them anymore because they grew too big, they imploded, and my favorite part, they forgot what good food tastes like. So Rita is a really special creature, and Marderos had to know that when he met her at such a young age, and when they fell in love very young, and he waited until she was 19 and he was 26 to get married. And they threw love notes to each other across the street and landing on the roof of their houses. That's how they communicated. It's kind of amazing. I don't know that he knew, maybe somewhere deep down he knew that Rita was gonna lead the future. And she does. She is an amazing creature. And when I went back, one of the many times I'd gone back in the last month, I said, thank you for being here. And again, I bowed to her and she said, we make food. That's what we do.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So if you are a Santa Clarita dweller and you have not ducked into the new Zankou Chicken in Valencia, I don't know what to say except what's wrong with you, because you're missing out. If you don't give it a whirl, it's the best thing on heaven and earth, and more cowbell.
If you've got a tip for Melissa, give her a call at 832-Tip-Sters. That's area code 832-847-7837. Or send her an email to jttipsters@gmail.com.